allows actually believers to have fellowship and encourage one another. Yes, so and we get fellowship and encouragement. So we can also have a reading from the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 11 and 12. If maybe someone can get there, can be able to read for us the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 11 and 12. So this same thing is also having fellowship and encouragement helps us to bring, to actually build a strong relationship, ones that are centered on sharing our faith. So that is what is actually explained in Romans chapter 1, verse 11 and 12. Apostle Paul expresses the desire to visit the Roman believers so that they may be mutually encouraged by one another's faith. We have someone who is in Romans chapter 1, verse 11 and 12.
Romans chapter 1, 11, 12.
Yes. No one is there? Or maybe the person who was reading, I think you are muted again.
It says,
Yes.
For I long to see you, that I may impart to you some spiritual gift, so that you may be established. In verse 12,
Yeah.
that is that I may be encouraged together with you by the mutual faith, both of you and me.
By the mutual faith of both you and me. So like we find that when we congregate together, we share that mutual faith, and also we are able to encourage one another, as Paul expresses his desire as well to visit the Romans or the people. And then number two, other we get is there is accountability and edification. So so when we read from the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 125 that we just read, we find that gathering together provides us the opportunity for accountability. So these accountabilities are the accountabilities of the spiritual gifts. And also it also enables us to have spiritual growth. So believers can challenge, we can exhort, and also edify one another in our walks with Christ. So the encouragement that we get from the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 24 and 25, encourages the believers not to neglect meeting together, but to spur one another towards love and also towards good deeds. The other point that we get is learning and teaching. So when we meet together, we are able to learn from one another. And also when we teach, we have the opportunity because there are people who are gifted in teaching. So when believers come together, can engage in study and also teaching. Well, of course, where they study, there's also teaching of God's word. So we can get a clarification from that in the book of Romans, Romans chapter 15, verse 14. Romans chapter 15, verse 14. Someone who is there can just read it for us quickly. Romans chapter 15, verse 14.
15, verse 14.
Yes.